For everybody.
Walked in like, whoa, he needs this.
Hey, you're at a ball, man. That's
Poster boy.
Okay. Oh, I just.
Is it good?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. We're ready.
All right.
We're gonna go.
So does everybody in this room know what Steps to Success is? For those of you that are new.
Where to print them, where to
Where to
find
print
them.
them and everything on your e-suite. So every month on the first of the month, even like at the end of the month sometimes, I'll go ahead and print them for the next month. I would definitely say don't limit yourself to one. Print like 5 of them and challenge yourself to fill them all out. If y'all don't know what Steps to Success is, it's getting your 3 distributors and 4 loyal customers, just like you do in the beginning when you're trying to go Ruby, right? So every team member that you get, you're going to teach to do the exact same thing because that's the core of this entire business. It is so easy. It is your roadmap to success. And if you can fill out at least one of those every single month, then you will have no problem being successful in this business. And that's what Mark always talks about is how important it is because you will not fail if you're filling that out. So I would challenge yourself. For those of you that are newer, I know sometimes it can feel like super scary to be like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 3 distributors and 4 customers? Because that seems really scary. Because I feel like a lot of people, when they join this company, they are very frightened. I know I was when I joined. The second I joined, I was like, how can I get somebody to sign up and sell something that I know nothing about? Because I had never joined. I had never been a part of network marketing. I didn't know what It Works was. I didn't know what we sold other than the defining gel that I had asked Aaron about when I joined. So just making sure that you know your products inside and out. If y'all don't know about my It Works productcoach.com, that's super helpful if y'all don't use that already. It's really simple to the point. You click on a product and it has like, I don't know, some
The most common questions and answers.
like how to use it, when you use it, what it's for, stuff like that. So if anybody ever asks you, what does, I don't even know if WOW is on there yet because it's so new, but if someone asks you what a wrap does, you can, it's called the Ultimate Body Applicator. You can go on there and copy and paste what it does and send it to them if you don't know how to word it. It's super easy. So that has been super, super helpful for me is knowing products because when somebody messages you, maybe you post a product tester post and somebody messages you and they're like, what does stretch mark cream do? Or how often do I use it? Or how much it is? Or how much is it? The last thing that you want to do, which this is what you're going to do in the beginning to get comfortable and know things, is go look it up and have to figure out all this stuff, which you're going to do in the beginning. But once you've done it 5,000,000 times, you're going to memorize it. So you're easily going to be able to be like, this is how much it is. But you want to tell them the retail product or the retail of the product and what they save as a loyal customer so that they know what a great deal that they're getting. Because you guys all know how the loyal customer program works, right? So knowing your products is really, really, really big in this company. We have 30 plus products, with our new one being amazing. So just make sure that you know them so that you can answer those questions really easily when people do contact you, because I feel like that has made a total difference in my business, is not having to take the time to reply to them an hour later and I can respond to them right away. So that's a good thing that I've done as far as talking to loyal customers. Follow up with them, because just because somebody tells you no right away doesn't mean that they're saying no forever. It's just not right now, unless they literally tell you, no, I don't want it, which will happen sometimes. But you guys can't get discouraged when people tell you no, because there's going to be people out there who aren't what we're about. They don't get it. But our products are amazing, and every single one of you in this room know that because you're a distributor for a reason. Because none of us would be distributors if our product didn't work right. So know your products, be able to talk to customers about it. There's videos on YouTube that you guys can watch that are super helpful too. So follow up every Friday. I follow up with people, or Sunday, just depending on when the last time was that I talked to them, because Friday is a huge day because it's payday. A lot of people will contact you on Fridays. Sundays are when the majority of people are at home, not working. obviously. So that's a great time to contact people too. I try to do like a 2 to 3 week rule. So if I've talked to somebody like today and maybe 2 weeks from now or a week from now, I'll like if it's a loyal customer, I'll contact them like next Friday. I've kind of started doing shorter amounts of time rather than longer amounts because I want them to know that I'm still thinking about them. I will follow them on Facebook and like their stuff and comment their stuff. Just so they know that I'm still there and I'm watching them, just like they've been watching me if they've contacted me. As far as distributors go, you guys, it is not difficult to tell somebody how amazing this business is. Now, not everybody gets it because when you're not a part of it and you know nothing about it, they're going to be like, okay. They don't want to hear anything that you have to say, right? But my big thing with getting distributors has been keeping that relationship. Even with people that I don't know, like Brianne, she was a client of mine at the salon, and at my salon, I cannot talk about It Works at all, period. I would be fired hands down on the spot if I did. Now people have asked me about it, and I can like whisper about it or just be like, text me later if it's somebody that I know, but I am not allowed to talk about it whatsoever. Unless it's like, you know, if it's a stranger, if it's like one of them coming, it's okay. But anyways, so my biggest thing has been building relationships. So Brianne had come and she was a stranger. She had seen some of my stuff on Instagram for hair and she became one of my clients and we became friends on Facebook, obviously. And she had started seeing some of my posts and she was asking me about it and I gave her a little bit of info, but I kind of like let her think about it. And then one day she contacted me and she was like, I've been watching your stuff and I just really think this is something that I need and I want to do. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we met and we signed her up and she has been a rock star ever since. So that was kind of a relationship that we had built before Facebook, before social media. But even with strangers, you guys, like there are people, like you can sign people who aren't within 5 miles of where you live. It can be in a completely different state. It's adding those friends. I wouldn't message them immediately if I were you. If you do cold message, I cold message. But I make sure that before I do that, I have watched them for a few days at least. I've gone through their page. I see if it's somebody I really want on my team because I don't want to contact somebody random and be like, I want you on my team, but not know who they are or what they're about or if they'd even be a good fit for the business. I truly want to reach out to people who I think are going to be good at this. Even if I don't know them, you can totally reach somebody through some of their posts on social media. I mean, I don't know if you guys can, but I can. You just get that vibe from them. But I make sure that I follow their journey. I will go, like I've been doing a lot of Instagram stuff lately, trying to switch from Facebook to Instagram because she's going to talk about that in a minute. It's becoming a lot bigger than Facebook. Soon Facebook probably won't even really be around as much, I don't think. Just because Instagram is so much easier for people to just see a picture and see everything that you're about. Like you can see all your emotion and all your, you know, whatever goes on in a simple picture rather than having to read a long paragraph of, you know, your story. You know what I mean? Same with videos. Those are amazing. If y'all don't already know that, I love videos. Also, so I've been doing a lot of what she'll probably talk about, which is when I add new people, I immediately, if they are not set on private to where they have to accept me, I will immediately go to their page and like the first 10 posts that pop up. And I don't care if I look like a creep because, you know, people probably think you look like a creep, but it's fine. So on their page, and I'll like the first like 10 things and maybe comment on 2 or 3 of them. And I swear to y'all, in the past like 2 weeks, they may not have reached out to me yet, but they have commented back, recognized that I've commented, and they've started liking my stuff as well. So those are relationships being built because now they're watching what I'm doing. So anyways, I don't want to go too much into that so she can talk about it, but just building relationships with people on social media is huge in this business. And you want to be able to do that, even if it's not like you've talked to them, you want them to know that you've like paid attention to stuff that they're doing because you don't want to just randomly message somebody and like never have spoken or reached out to them in any way. So that would be my biggest thing is just making sure that you're building those relationships with people and following up with them because just because they tell you no one time doesn't mean that in a couple days or a couple weeks or a few months or a year from now, they're going to tell you yes, because they're going to watch what you're doing and they're going to want to be a part of it. So I would say following up and making sure that you at least fill out 1 Steps to Success, every month, because that's what's going to make you successful in this business. And challenge yourself. Don't just fill out 1. Keep going, because there's no limit in this business. There's nothing that says you have to be Ruby in 5 months or you have to be Ruby in 2 months. You can take a year. You could take a week, you guys. Tiffany, her did Diamond in 30 days. That's insane. So just make sure that you guys are believing in yourself and that you know that you can do this, because everybody in this room is totally capable. Cool.
Good.
That's it.
Short. Is everybody on Instagram? Okay. So I want you, if you don't have Instagram, I want you to go ahead and create an account once you leave here today. Okay. Get your pen and your paper and your notebooks and all that out, because this is really, really good information. So did y'all know there's 300 million people that are on Instagram? 300 million people on Instagram. And so when we look at that with 105,000 distributors, not necessarily all active, that could be 3,000 people per It Works distributors that you could be contacting. That could be on your team. That's 19 diamonds underneath you, if you think about it. It's crazy. Instagram is the biggest network market, or not network, social media platform. And the beauty of it, it's really a lot different than Facebook, because Facebook is more statuses and that kind of thing. Instagram is a quick picture into your life. So I want you to go to your profile. And do you have something that's written there about yourself yet? Okay. You want about 3 lines of information, and you can do it in your notes or whatever you want. 2 to 3 lines about yourself.
If you do it in your notes, it helps the spacing, because it's kind of screwy with that.
2 to 3 lines about yourself, and so you don't want to just be you want to put stuff that you enjoy. So mine says, Mommy to Finnegan, wife to Mr. Tweed, fitness, adventure, friends and food, skinny rap girl, and empowering others. So that's really creating that first impression of yourself. So you really want that to be a bold, strong statement. So don't just put stuff there to put it there. Like, take some time to think about it, but make sure it's about 2 to 3 lines, because that's really showing people who you are. Profile picture should really be a selfie, okay? Because when people are looking at your little picture, sometimes it's far away and they really want to be able to connect with you. So I changed mine from picture of our family to just myself, because people couldn't necessarily see my picture and what it was, because it was so distant. So picture should probably be a selfie. If you don't like selfies, you're just gonna have to suck it up for one time. And you want to only talk about the F's of the business and life on your Instagram. So when people look at your Instagram, you really want to they're going to show these first 9 pictures are pretty much the most crucial. And so you don't want more than maybe 2 before and afters. Okay. Before and afters, and we'll talk about messaging people and when to delete them. But so you really want the pictures to be crisp, clear. Like, you use your filters on Instagram, because people love how pictures look on Instagram.
But don't overdo it.
I mean, don't go crazy with the 365 whatever and all kinds of makeup, but you do want to do filters because it makes your pictures pop. So talking about the F's: fun, freedom, friendship, fashion, food, fitness, football, whatever. It's so cold in here, I'm shivering. When you're first starting out, has anybody done the Jocelyn's Week of Post that's on? Okay, so on Elite Legacy, there's a file. And so if you go to your app, you go to your Facebook app, and if you go to the View Group Info, there's a section called Files. So if you go to the files, there is a document that has Jocelyn's Week of Instagram post. And this is to help you in building your business and building your following. Okay, so use that as a tool and a guide, but obviously making it more personal in your own wording. When you're first starting building up because you want to have, once you get to about 1,500 followers, then you tend to have a good group going, good momentum. So it's going to take time in getting there. Instagram is a kind of a slower way of getting followers sometimes. But I'm going to talk about some apps to help you in that. But you want to make sure that you're posting more frequently, so about every 2 hours. Okay. Because Facebook is different in the fact that if somebody likes your post, it's going to pop up back to the top of the newsfeed. Instagram, you've got one shot, and you want to have a bold, statement picture there, so that way people are really using that and can see that.
It just scrolls through and then it's gone. It doesn't go back to the top like Facebook does.
So you want to make sure that you're posting your pictures really are showing who you are, what we're about, what your life's about. It doesn't always have to be about it works or anything, but just incorporating everything. Okay, what you post matters. And pictures, like I said, are really, really important. You want to make them look good, and you want to make sure that they have good filters. So if you have iPhone, PicTapGo is a really, really good app. I think it's $2. You can use filters. The ones that I like to use are the auto contrast and crispity. And I think that was no, that's on Instagram. I think there's a somewhat good one for Android, but I don't know what it is. But you want to make them look good. Okay, so don't be afraid to use filters. People like that. That's just the beauty of Instagram. On Instagram, the two filters that can make your pictures look good, the second one that's on the bottom is called Claridon, and then there's another one called Juno. That's another good filter to use. Oh, it's so cold. It's freezing. I'm trying to talk and my mouth is shivering. Okay, so like Cassie said, my account is set to private. But figure out what works best for you. So some people do really well with having their account public in the followers. Mine, I had to go back to, I went public and then I went to private. I just found that private works better for me. But figure out, play around with it. Do a couple of days of public, do a couple of days of private, and see what works best for you in getting your followers. Because some people, like Alyssa, keeps hers public. Mine's private. So it's totally up to you and how you want to get your followers. I go in as soon as since mine is private, I'll get a notification that one follow request, and so I'll accept it. And then I'll hit the second little button on the top where it's got like the 3 lines, and it actually puts the pictures just in a row, and I'll go and 6, 7 pictures, and I always comment on one.
You can do more.
You can do more. You can do as many as you want. That's just what I've been doing is I like 6 to 7, then I comment on 1, sometimes 2 if I really think that, some people are crazy with their pictures. I'm like, I'm not commenting on more than that, but whatever you want to do. There's another thing. So following apps. There's one called Crowdfire. So if you're not using that, I would download it. Crowdfire.
What is it?
Crowdfire. Crowd. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go into Crowdfire, and this is why everybody's getting blocked today, I'm sorry. You can actually copy people's followers. Okay. So let's say you find somebody on Instagram that just really is inspirational or motivating to you. You can go and put their name. Say this girl Ashley, and then I can literally go and copy her followers. And on Crowdfire, it actually lets you copy up to 150 per hour. 150 per hour. So if you're on Instagram and copying followers, it's only 60 an hour. Crowdfire is 150.
And
this is a way,
it
notifies you when your hour's up. So this is a way to build your Instagram following.
What does that mean, copy?
It's just a quicker way to get followers.
Oh.
Like you can follow these people so that they'll hopefully follow you back.
Oh.
So I do one day of all following, and the next day of all following. That third day, I go back through and unfollow the people that didn't follow me back. Okay, so it's a lot. Instagram's a lot of work, but it's worth it. The other thing, because you can copy followers, that I wouldn't allow It Works distributors. So this is notice in advance. I'm blocking everybody just because I have to be protective of my business. You have to be protective of your business. So you just don't know. It's easier to copy followers on Instagram through these apps, and so you just want to be protective of yourself because people can easily go and copy your followers. Okay, nothing against anybody, but it's just for your own business.
And it frees up your feed too.
And it frees up your feed of anybody posting stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Not on Facebook, but Instagram. You can also go and unfollow your followers there too. Okay, so that's a way that you can use that to unfollow those people that aren't following you back. There's another one called, I use Followers Plus, but there's other ones called Instatrack,
Instract.
INS, and then track. That's another one that I kind of go back and forth between the two because I can unfollow more people that way. It just Crowdfire's the one that lets you copy up to 150 people per hour, which is a lot.
What'd you say? Instract and what?
Instract and Followers Plus.
And you want to keep your people you're following ratio and people following you about even, because if you're just following 10,000 people and you only have 200 followers, it just looks spammy on Instagram really quick.
So kind of that's why it's
That's why you have to go back and unfollow people that didn't end up following you back.
No posting of welcome pics on Instagram. So if you're welcoming a team member, that's what your Facebook's for. And so you really want to keep this clean, clear pictures. We don't want to be loading it up. Before and afters, like I said, are okay to do. But so let's talk about messaging people. I am messaging everybody with one like. One like on my picture, I'm messaging you. Does everybody know how to message on Instagram? Okay. So if we go to the main page, the home, the little mailbox at the top right. Am I going too fast? Are we good? Okay. Top right, the little inbox. You're going to hit the plus sign. You're going to send a message. And it can be as simple as, hey, my love, thanks so much for showing some love on my post. I would love to have you on my It Works team. Are you interested? This is what I send. Hey, my love, thanks so much for showing love on my post. I would love to have you on my It Works team. You would rock this business.
You said love like 10 times.
I know, but people love it. They don't care. So create whatever fits for you, but also thanking them for showing love on your post. And then I've gotten a lot of responses that way. And I message every single person with one like. If they keep liking stuff and they haven't responded, I message them again.
Make sure you're liking and commenting on their stuff as well.
Alyssa was talking about Sydney Samsel, who's one of her diamonds and about to go double diamond. She actually followed up with her 18 times before she ever responded, before she ever asked about joining the team. So don't be afraid to message. And that's how they met each other with Instagram. So I blow people's inboxes up. Good way to get followers, I think. Where did I put this? So this talks about so when we're messaging people, once you've kind of gone through the list of people that have liked your picture, about 2 to 3 days later, go back and delete your before and afters, okay? Because most people aren't going to have them still on their newsfeed, so go ahead and delete it so you keep it crisp and clean. You can post as much as you want on Instagram. I recommend, especially when you're starting to build up your following, about every 2 hours. So let's talk about pre-planning posts.
Can you go back to the people that like your before and afters are the ones that she messages? But those people, to build your following quickly, go and add 10 people that follow them or comment on their stuff. Everybody that likes that before and after, go to their page and add 10 people from each of those people. Right?
Yeah. How'd you remember that? Where was I at? Post as much as you want.
Your airplane mode.
Oh, okay. You want to make sure you're sharing your adventure, you're being yourself, because your mess is your message. And so you don't want to be posting a bunch of crap on there. So let's talk about how to pre-plan to make everybody's life easier, okay? So I want you to, if anybody saw Tiffany and Alyssa's, when Alyssa showed me this the other day, I was like, holy crap, this just changed my business. Put your phone into airplane mode. And you're going to go to Instagram again. And so you're actually, you see, I got mine stacked up. You're actually going to just go ahead and make your post, okay? So take some time in the evening, whenever you've got downtime that you can make a couple posts, go ahead and do that. So you're going to just click this. Let's say next, and then I want to go ahead and share it. It's going to say failed. So all we're going to say is fail, okay? So you're going to put your phone back into regular mode, and when you're ready, you're going to hit that little reload arrow and just click, and it's going to post at that time when you're ready to post. So about
It'll only post that long.
It'll only post that one. So every 2 hours, you can just go click. You've already done your work for the day, but you're still making your impact on Instagram, posting every 2 hours. Okay, so instead of sitting there and having to worry about making the actual post, you've already done it. It's going to make it a lot easier, I promise. As you can see, I've got a lot stashed. Okay, everybody get that on how to do that? Do what? I know, right? Courtney Bohr taught them that. Okay, cold message, like I said, everybody who likes and comments, adding 100 to 300 people a day. So that's the beauty of Crowdfire, because you can knock that out easily in a 2 hour, 1 or 2 hour session. It's going to notify you every hour that, or at the next hour, that your hour limit's up, and you can go back on and follow more people. Follow Fridays. So hashtag follow Fridays. So let's say you find somebody on Instagram that you just think is very inspirational, and you'd like to tag up team with them. Just private message them and say, hey, you really inspire me. Would you be interested in doing a follow Friday with me? And so that way you can make a collage of your pictures together, and they post about you, and you post that collage about them, and say follow Friday, like go and follow this person. And that's how you can get a lot of other people following you as well. So hashtag follow Friday. So just finding that one person on Instagram that really is an inspiration, messaging and seeing if they'll, y'all can pair. So you're getting them followers, they're getting you followers. Another good thing is to find your favorite boutique or one of your favorite pages that you like on Instagram. A lot of times I follow a lot of boutiques. Go and look at the people that are commenting on those boutique pictures. Follow those people. Those are the ones that you want to reach out to, because they're not afraid to start commenting and asking questions on social media. So those are people that you want to reach out to about the business. Okay, does that make sense?
It's going to be a good fit for what you like.
Yeah, they're a good fit because you already have the same likes and different things, and so that will be helpful. If you're doing any hashtags, you want to keep it no more than 5, and you want to make sure it's a separate comment. So you don't want to add them onto your original post. You want to comment back with your hashtags, because you really want that first comment statement to be something that's powerful. Okay. I don't really hashtag that often unless it's something about, our little clever family thing. Otherwise, some people love hashtags and that's how they can run it. So figure out what works best for you. If you hashtag a lot and it works, then don't change it. But otherwise, figure out what you like to do. Screenshot your Instagram profile and pin it on Pinterest and tag it in whatever type category you want to. So you could actually go and pin it on 19 categories. Doesn't matter if it's outdoors or whatever, but your profile is still going to pop up on people's Pinterest. Okay, so that's another good way to kind of put your face out there. You want to make sure you share your best photos. So that's where those filters and everything come in. By all means, we're going to have days where we may look a hot mess, but make sure that you're sharing your best photos. So don't be afraid, to post whatever you need to do, but go to Pinterest. That's where I get a lot of my pictures from. Pinterest has some awesome pictures that you can just use, and people are like, "Oh my God, is that your house?" No, but I mean, I wish it was, but you know, it is what it is, and so what's on Pinterest is typically a really high quality picture, so use those because those are all going to be catching people's eyes.
And if you're feeling good one day, change your shirt,
Oh, yeah.
take a bunch of pictures.
That's what I do.
So it looks like you're
If
different.
you get ready one day and you love what either your makeup or whatever,
Good hair
just
day.
keep throwing on hair, do different stuff, 3, 4, whatever. That's what I do. Because I am not getting ready every day. But at least you've got your selfie picture ready for you. So use that.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah. Because on the weekends you're already ready to go, and so it's like
You just choose that.
okay. Alyssa put, I think for Android, Photog and Snapseed are good ones, is what I got written down.
Snapseed's on iPhone too.
Oh, okay. Snapseed is another good one, and Photog. So photo with a G at the end. That's just an app that I have written. I don't remember anything else.
Photofy is a good one.
Yeah.
Photofy.
I have that too.
Well, so Snap what?
Snapseed.
What is it?
Like F1. It's like F1.
Oh, so some good ones to use to write on, and Android users help me out. I use WordSwag and Rona, RHONNA. Those are 2 good apps to use to get fonts on your pictures. You know, put the wording on there, like join my team today, make it clever. How would $500 help your family? Because that's going to be catching somebody's eye. So don't be afraid to add those, you know, to a family picture
Word swag.
or whatever you want to do. So WordSwag and Rona, and then Android. You just use Photofy.
RHONNA.
I think there's another one.
I just got the
Photo
Typorama.
grid.
Huh?
Typorama. I just
Typorama?
got that one. Yeah, I just got
You like it?
like a week or 2 ago, and I love
Okay. Typorama.
it. And it's free.
Okay.
So,
Photo grid, you can also, like, when you go in to edit your pictures, you can add different, like, text.
Okay.
So if you have a different font that you prefer, you can add that on there.
Perfect. So just figure out what app works for you and what kind of style you like. There's a lot of ones. I know like WordSwag, I think, and Rona or in PictAppGo, you do have to pay. But I mean, I like them that. Okay. If you're gonna, don't put your website in your little about you kind of section. Write that on your picture. Use one of those WordSwag or whatever type of app and put your website on your picture. And you don't want to put that in the comments. Just leave it because that's going to be your bold statement that's popping through as people are looking. So you want to make sure that kind of catches their eye. Oh, there's wording on that. So put your website on your picture rather than in the comments when you're posting about it.
I think you should put your Facebook link on your About Me though, so they can immediately go find you on Facebook.
Yeah. If you have a crazy name where it's very common, then I would suggest doing it. I'm like one of the only Aaron tweets.
There was 2 at the hospital you worked at.
Corley. Right?
Boom.
Okay. We talked about finding attractive pictures on Pinterest. Only use hashtags that interest you. So just because, you know, if you're not into hunting, don't post hashtag hunters, hashtag open season, whatever. Like, don't post that because it's not something that interests you. So only hashtag what interests you because you want to have people that are interested in the same thing, not just, oh my gosh, I'm gonna randomly have this hunter girl follow me and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So don't hashtag it. We talked about, so the beauty of being able to already pre-plan your posts, that gives you more time to like and comment. So most of your time on Instagram should be spent liking and commenting on people because that's how you're going to start those relationships. Because it's a little less, I don't even know, less, I would say, not intimate is probably not even the word, but just less connected than like Facebook because it seems more homey on Facebook, Instagram. So spending the time liking and commenting, that's where you're really going to get to know each other and starting those relationships that people will, even if they're not interested in the business, they're still going to message you back rather than just ignore you. So by doing all those things. The other thing, we talked about public versus private, figure out what works best for you. use people that are recommended to follow. So if, let's say you find somebody on Instagram that's a public account, and you go in and I just need to find something. I know, sorry. I'm trying to find somebody that. Okay. Dang, they're private. Okay, so like this person, when I click follow, see how it's already a public account? When I click follow and it says suggested, follow those people, because those are people that are going to be very similar to what you're already looking for. Because Instagram is very savvy on that fact of using, so use those recommended people to follow. So just go click, 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 and keep following, and it'll max you out, I think, at like 10 or 15. But that way you're following some of the same people that have the same interest as you do. So don't be afraid to use those. Look, like I said, look at your favorite shop. Fortune's in the follow-up. So don't be afraid to message people, like I said, 50 bazillion times. Like I have a girl, probably for a year now, she likes every single one of my posts, and I still message her. And now I probably have a whole slew of messages, and some she responds, some she doesn't. But I know she's still interested. She just doesn't want to do it yet. And so don't be afraid to keep messaging them, because they keep liking your stuff. So obviously they're still interested in it, or they wouldn't like it. Be you and use your own words. Y'all have been very spoiled in the fact that we've been doing this 30-day push. But you need to make sure that you're being yourself, because it doesn't look very thoughtful if we're just copying and pasting words. You know, I mean, yes, some of the templates are awesome and they're already there for you to use it, but make sure that you're making some of it your own wording, because people are going to respond to that better. So even if it's just tweaking it a little bit, or you know, adding some emojis, like other people may end up copying it from you, and that's okay, but just make sure that you're being you, because these tools aren't always going to be there. We're not every single month going to be doing a 30-day push. This is just a good way to help everybody get started and jump started and kind of have a guide. But we want to make sure that we are being, when we talked, like Alyssa and I talked about, we're like, we didn't have any of this stuff. Like I didn't even really use emojis. Like I was just like, hey, want to try a rap? Here's my name. Here's my website. Here's my phone number. Like put it all, like don't, you know, so having these as a guide should help you with each and every post. So you can kind of mimic what you've been doing and use that to continue to grow your business.
And listen to John Eric. Everything he has is gold.
Mm-hmm.
He's the social media guru. You know.
Yeah. So that's all I've got for Instagram. It was a pretty big, in-depth training, but I think, you know, figure out what works for you. I've been really using like those, like I said, those couple apps, because I love Crowdfire, because I can do that. But you know, I also make sure that, because other It Works people are gonna add you, so make sure that you're being protective of your business too. Because it's very easy to follow somebody else's follower, and there's no saying that anything could be, you know, it is what it is, but just make sure that you're being protective of your own business as well. So
Instagram takes some effort to learn, but put the time in, because it's paid off. We just started it recently, probably 2 months, really have hit it hard, and it's really blown.
that's
for
really
us.
where we're signing most of our people from, is Instagram.
And we really didn't. We were all Facebook before, which we still do a lot, but Instagram is great.
300 million people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, especially when we're opening up in a new country.
The biggest thing I've seen is liking and commenting on other people's stuff. They just build a relationship, make friends on there. It's pretty much what you're doing. Be
Do you have a
thoughtful.
question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a silly question, but if any of y'all have a trick for it, as far as Instagram.
Mhm.
Whenever you're putting your caption on your picture or anything, you know how on Facebook you can press enter and it will space it out, say you want to put your number or something separate, so it stands out. Is there a way to do that on Instagram?
Go
Or you
into
kind
the-
of have to copy
Go
and
into your
paste?
notes on your phone and
Okay,
space it out how you want it, and then
Mhm.
copy and paste
but
it.
it will paste correctly.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's just like about your little profile, like about me, and literally
You have to do it on there,
because
too.
if you notice on Facebook, they have that section where you can add now your little about me underneath your profile picture. So that's the new thing. I literally just copied and pasted. I think it's less characters on Facebook, so you may have to shorten it up. But you can, if you go into your notes and just put it there and then copy and paste, it'll space it out.
You're really just branding yourself.
Mhm. Yeah. You want to make your pictures look good on Instagram. Like, don't be afraid. I mean, some people go crazy with
I can't
Pix
stand it.
360,
Yeah,
but-
there's a lot of people that do it and it looks fake, so then people don't respond to that. They think you touch up your before and afters or everything. So,
And you said which one's the best app for like going back and I guess unfollowing?
Crowdfire,
Crowdfire.
I would say, because still you can still do 150.
Mhm.
Sometimes it maxes you out depending on how fast you click the unfollow.
But you use that to like unfollow the people as well.
Mhm, mhm. Copy and
click, 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 click.
yeah, it's really, really simple and easy because it can take you maybe 2 to 3 minutes to follow 150 people. And it's just simply like, so find your favorite boutique and copy their followers. 'Cause they're all public. Do those kind of things because that's going to be what helps you. And then you could, if you have more time on your hands, you can go back into Instagram and follow your 60 followers there. So really almost like 200 people an hour if you want it. I know, I got you. So any other questions on that?
And if you have trouble with it, hit us up. We'll walk you through everything.
Okay, so now if everybody can, we're gonna use WOW if you want to. So that way you can post your before and afters today. So there's no reason to not have shown your own before and after. You
I'm all smart.
can use it over makeup, but some people, if you have a lot, then I would suggest it, but you know.
I'm gonna go and get you a water.
It is awesome. If you don't want to, but if you are gonna use it at home, then please tag me in your before and after because I want to see them. So that way we can blow it up. You don't know how to? So wow, all you're gonna do is take your before and after full face, and then too, like if you want to angle, if you're planning to put it in on certain areas, like mine is my forehead, and then then do like a side view angle like this. Make sure that you're taking pictures. Yeah. And then you want to, there's quite a bit, rubbing it all around wherever you're applying it to. Keep rubbing it in, and then 45 seconds, retake your, do your 45 seconds. 45 seconds. So make sure you take your before.
So let's 45 and 45.
Yeah. So then you can rub it in for, it takes a little bit to rub it in and then wait another 45 seconds and then take it out.
This one over here is like no big holes.
Take it out when I raise it.
Oh, must be nice.
Right here. I do. I like a line right here.
So I guess I could do it right here. 22 years old.
That's why I'm here.
Got more?
So not right there. Can I put it right here? Yeah, I put it like all around. You're gonna feel kind of like a tingly. It may feel tight. Like, yeah, you can do that. Just make sure you take your pictures and you have to post it. And you have to tag me.
Don't you have to do like a?
We're gonna have more wild pictures.
This?
Huh?
Don't you have to
You
do
just make sure you rub it in very
sweeping motions?
a sweeping motion like this. Just keep going.